Amber McGinley.
The last one. There's nobody else? That's it? All right, so there's a lot of questions that came up at the board. So first of all, the Spokane option you guys talked about. The Spokane option is a booklet that tells you how to put it together. You don't have to do exactly what it says, okay? So you can make changes. I don't even know how this is going to be done, because my understanding of the task force is we're now going to be meeting 4 times a year. So I first was told the work was going to be done, then there went into a discussion about meeting 4 times a year. I don't know how, I believe it was on the paperwork as well, how in the world it's going to get done with that. So that is where you're going to bring in community members, you're going to bring in people that have been through truancy, you're going to bring in, you know, adults. There's an alderman that's been through truancy. So you're going to bring in those people. I've been through truancy. And you're going to have people like that that can guide these youth for the real truants. The other ones should be weeded out through the process. And I see here that we're skipping over tier 2, potentially. I heard in the comments, it didn't show it in there, but then I heard in the comments we're skipping over tier 2. That's an IEP process. That will lead to an IDEA complaint. You're skipping over the legal requirements. That is a legal requirement. DPI has due process hearings for that. So again, we're back to that. We're skipping over tier 3. I think you need to go through all the tiers, do your due diligence, go to the community board, and then at the very end, I think everybody could live with a referral. That is what I'm hearing. If we look at, there's the hard no court, there's the hard citations. What is in the middle of that? What is in the middle? It is a county referral. It's smack dab in the middle of the presentation. So I think everybody, the community, can live with option 2, like Jim Bowman said. That's what he found that he liked. Okay? So the community is going to bend. We need the school to bend. We don't need the citations. Citations, so the difference in what you're talking about is if you do through Youth and Family Services, it could potentially lead to a GIPS or CHIPS petition through the court process. If you do a citation, they're going to get a fine, community service, and things like that. It's not going to follow the kids like Jim was trying to explain. It does absolutely nothing for these kids or these families, but put more fines on them that they can't afford. So there's no point in doing it. And Rana also agrees with me. She didn't mention it. She wanted me to say it, that she does not want any citations. As far as the data, that transparency is not there. Okay, I was told that there was no data when we asked on the task force. So there's a stark difference between there is no data and it's not accurate data. And that would have been nice to hear at that given moment. And the last thing I want you to know is if you make this decision, when the parents go to court for contribute to truancy, it is an open session. Therefore, the public can be in there. When I was in my hearing, I had a murderer or a gentleman that was in the court with McGinnis for murder, listening to my kids' information. And you all full well know now that you will make kids' information public and allow people like that in there hearing that information if you decide to go with a citation. So the only option left is 2. The middle one is the right one to do. Can you do the right thing?
Your time is up. Thank you.